Hey everybody, it's Thursday the 24th. It's about 1:20 in the morning. I have an idea. Well, first of all, yesterday, the end of that video, I hope everybody saw. Because, man, next time I get it like that, it's going to be different because I have an idea about something. But, this is just me right now. That's why I'm just me, just going to talk. I have an idea for a movie. I did ask for permission first, but it's just little old me. Now this movie, it's gonna be a good movie. Nobody steal my ideas, please. When I was in prison, I read a lot. This last time I'd read 3 to 4 books a week, and what I read was like Indiana Jones kind of stuff, but a lot of theology, archaeology, science, but it was all mixed with fiction and based in a little bit of fact, like Clive Cussler, stuff like that, mythology. So I've come up with this idea, and now I don't have the whole thing. It's just a general outline. I haven't got the plot. I got some of the characters, and it's theological, biblical, with a little bit of science, some mythology. Some people said truth is stranger than fiction. So, since it's going to be a little bit of everything, I'm sure people will be able to discern what is truth and what is fiction. So, it starts in the Bible. Creation. God created the angels, then He created us, then He created everything with His breath. Said it, there it is. Now these angels were supposed to watch. They were God's helpers. Supposed to help us, protect us. And some of them didn't like that job. They thought that God did a bad job and they could do it better. Actually, a couple of them wanted to be God. But they're not. So these angels left their first estate, came down here, got everything all jangled up, and started telling man stuff. Knowledge that only God should have. And that nobody could do except for God. Like people could copy and mimic, but can never do. Can never be God. But because of man's ego and little whispers in their ear, they thought they could. Now let's say it's going to jump around a little bit, like time frames. Let's say there comes a time when man got so advanced that they were able to build these huge structures like the pyramids, Machu Picchu, Stonehenge, all the old stuff that is unexplainable. Well, I'm sure they'll find out the truth of what. I'm sure that they don't know what it really is. I'm sure that if archaeologists and scientists knew where all this knowledge came from and what it meant, they would have told us. I'm sure they would have. They wouldn't lie to us. And now, I'm sure that there's some of the stuff that they haven't found yet. Like, I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. In my heart, I would hope that if they found stuff like this, they would tell us. We'll just assume that they would. Stuff like things that would make something like the Minotaur, or Medusa, or Cyclops. Like really far advanced scientific DNA, gene stuff. And let's just say that these ancient mythological creatures were actually created by man because of something that they were told. And eventually God had enough. I said, you know what? Yeah, you've got to go. The abominations, the disgust, the horrors, the pure evil of it was too much. So, give everybody a bath, wash it clean. So man gets to start over. And that knowledge is forgotten, lost, buried. And then eventually, man gets inquisitive. Or maybe, I don't know what time frame to put this in, but let's just say, I don't know. I'm going to sit and write it all down. Maybe I got to make a list of who I'd like to play what parts and everything to. You think Brad Pitt could play me? Meh. Maybe Anderson Cooper. He's a good actor. But he has 2 jobs. CNN and the other CI, whoever they are. Now, at some point, those angels, the bad ones, they never went away. They were kind of put in prison. Kind of a prison. But they were still sneaking about. Now let's just say certain men who have evil hearts heard these ones again, just like before. And let's just say they took this technology and expounded on it. Created cell phones and microwaves and computers. Well, listen, I'm 38 years old. Never in my life did I think I'd see that stupid computer or this phone. This is insane. I remember Miami Vice, Don Johnson with the big chumpy on his head. Now let's say that they still want to be gods. They still feel like they need to control everything. What people buy, what they eat, what they think, who they worship, how they worship. And let's just say that some of these men are very against God and believe that there is no God, which means that they could be a God. I think that those bad angels would use these men for bad stuff again. Like copying sheep. Or, now I saw this the other day. This is a fact. A little thing this big that was born like a little tiny baby had genitalia, legs, arms, but this goofy frog head, and it cried like a child. A newborn infant child. I bet certain men that would make them feel like gods. And now here's where I get a good storyline. Let's say that they use people, children, to inflict these horrible experiments on, like the Nazis did. But there's heroes, lots of heroes, and these heroes are loving and caring and don't like to see anything hurt, let alone their God, His feelings, His creation, His children. Let's say that they created in labs by DNA and gene manipulation. They became gods. They became as God, not gods. Because that's all they could do is copy, clone. Clone. That's a good word for copy. Clones. Let's say they figured out that there's a certain spot in everything, I guess, that basically where a soul would reside. That when every person dies, no matter what, they all lose the same exact weight at the same exact moment of death. That would prove, that would quantify a soul. Now let's just say that they got a way. They figured out some crazy Frankenstein way to capture or dismiss that soul. And let's say that they had evil plans, intent on doing this to large sections of the population, and that their creations in the lab would be smarter, stronger, like super soldiers almost. Like I watched the guy the other day, he's a geneticist. What if you could make your brain 100 times more IQ points? What if you could live 200 years longer? What if you could do 2 push-ups and look like Hulk Hogan? I think that God would level the playing field. I think that it's the classic story of good and evil. I think that God would level the playing field. I think that He would take some of His people and make them vessels. And now, there's a difference. Like, a vessel is Joseph's brothers, who went into Egypt and just about tore the whole country down with their bare hands. The Holy Spirit, it's just 2 different things. Like, some would be, they'd have armies, just like the knights, the old knights. There'd be prophets and minstrels and the whole works. Let's just say that God would level the playing field and turn some of His children into vessels to fight this abomination, stinks, stench, filth, giving them true abilities bestowed by the true Creator, not because you mix 2 genes together, like running without fainting, or running without tiring, walking without fainting, lifted up like on the wings of an eagle. And now, that's the conflict. I need a good, ending maybe? I don't know. This is just an idea I have. Maybe I'll write it down. Maybe I'll make it a screenplay. Maybe Tarantino will direct it. If anybody has any ideas, like for spots to fill in or something, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. Hollywood, don't steal my ideas. I love you guys.